business perspective, like I said, the weight issue is like food waste has got a lot of water weight, as you saw probably picking up stuff. Like a lot of that wet stuff is from food, and so like that's really expensive and heavy to ship around, which leads to a couple things. Like that's a human impact, right? Because if you have these big trucks moving with that are really dirty emissions, that's bad for our air quality, which leads to other global environmental problems. The other thing is this can be really valuable. So, like reduce, reuse, recycle, but like refuse. And I think the big thing is like reduce or reuse. Like if you had food that you've never opened that you're not going to use, like donating that to somebody who needs it would be the best thing. If that's not possible, then this is really valuable for soil health. So if you could compost it and make something new out of it that we could reuse in garden beds here or somewhere else to grow more food, it's a much better resource than being shipped on a truck somewhere that sits in a landfill that, again, does anyone remember what food waste causes when it's breaking down? Methane, yeah. And methane's a really bad contributor to global warming. So it's because it's 21 times more potent than just regular CO2 emissions. So we really want to cut down on that. Again, this is a valuable resource for regenerative soil health. Also, composted soil generally holds more water, and I think it's like 4 times as much. So if you're thinking about like a fresh compost soil compared to normal soil, if you can retain 4 times as much water, we would have to water our grounds less. Or if it's a farm, they would water less. Which again, goes back to our drought as another environmental impact. So like all those things, it comes kind of full circle.
Yeah, that's helpful, thanks. Yeah, so I think like in terms of like talking to your residents about composting, I think those are like important things to share with your residents, because I think some people aren't doing it, and that's again their choice. But I think if you like again explain a little more of the background as to why it's important, like talk about the water weight, like that's really important. Talk about methane. I mean, how much more times?
21.
21 times more emissions that leads to global warming for all that it builds up. I mean, I think when you share, people listen to things like that, because that sounds a little more impactful than like, oh, like it just, is inconvenient because people, have to dump your trash and it weighs a lot. Like that doesn't really like affect people, but I think if you're able to share a little bit more context and give a little bit more hard facts, people may think a little bit more deeply about their decisions in regards to even just basic food waste. So
yeah, it's just like a social good. Like if you're just like helping out, it's just like the same reason people like generally want to recycle. It's like they just believe it's doing the right thing. Compost could be considered the same thing. Like you're just takes a little more effort and a little more time, but once it kind of becomes the norm, people would be weirded out if you weren't doing it. So it's kind of creating that culture.
Yeah.
Wait, what was 21 more times of what?
Methane. So like when food waste is decomposing, it naturally creates methane, like in a landfill environment. And so when that happens, food waste and the food waste emissions are a form of methane gas. And methane gas is 21 more times more powerful in terms of heat trapping compared to like normal CO2 emissions, like from your car and other things.
Oh, wow.
So carbon dioxide has a certain per molecule heat trapping ability. Methane is 21 more times more powerful than that. So that's why like food waste is a big contributor.
And if we compost it, then we don't get
You're
that
avoiding the methane, yeah.
So
some landfills do like methane capture, where they actually use it for power plants and things like that. That's not everywhere. So we definitely want to cut down our use of that.
Andy, I mean, you work here daily. I mean, so now we finally experience what Andy experiences daily. So do you want to share a little bit, Andy?
I mean, I just props to you guys. Definitely not something people are usually eager to like go and start doing, especially if it's your first time. So I'm impressed that you guys did an actually really good job of sorting it. I mean, you did find out sadly that most things you do think are recyclable aren't, but that just helps better inform you guys to what to tell people what is and what isn't. So that also goes into the refusing and reducing and recycling, all of those aspects.
And these things make a difference. Like I know California recently passed their plastic bag ban, and like anecdotally, like a bunch of fishermen have been reporting back that they've like seen a huge decrease of plastic bags in the marine environment, stuff like that. So this has a huge impact. Yeah, it's just like also like I said earlier, like your wallet I think is like the hugest tool for the environment. So like what you're buying, like ask questions and think about like there's this whole path to these things, how it got to you and where it goes after. So if you think about it from that perspective, it's pretty easy to like go on a road trip, bring your reusable mug and reusable water bottle, like then you've just avoided a bunch of plastic, and bring your own utensils, and again you're avoiding or just refusing. I think someone said refusing earlier. I think one of them said it, like just refusing, like no, I don't need a lid and straw. And then people around you are like, the other day I did in a coffee shop and they were like, thank you. You know how many people don't do that? And I was like, okay. And so things like that. And someone next to you might be like, why did you do that? And you're like, well, that's because I know nothing can happen to it but go to a landfill or end up in the ocean where I don't want it. So.
Great, so that's kind of what we have for today. So we'll just stay a little bit back and talk about some stuff for class, and then y'all are dismissed. So thank you so much for, let's give a round of applause for our FM crew who helped arrange all the green. Thank you.